Hello and welcome to the Back Nine coverage of the second round for the Michigan State Championships here at Sanford, Michigan. I'm joined with my good buddy Andrew Marweed. How you doing?
Doing good buddy.
Aw, I did not even have to pay you to say that, but you looked uncomfortable saying it. That's all right. We're taking a look at the front nine here. Tim is on a scorching front nine there at -5 through the front nine. Mitchell had a rough start there at the beginning, couldn't quite get going, but now he's kind of grooving into that back nine, and the other two kind of tagging along, struggling so far as we head into hole 10, which is one of the harder holes in my opinion. A immediate dogleg left off the tee down this very wooded fairway, reminds you a little bit of hole 2 or hole 3, excuse me, and then back up the hill to the right a little bit for the basket. Plays, I would imagine, and Marweed, you can tell me I'm wrong on this, is probably a backhand off the tee to put it in position, or a forehand if you're trying to get a little farther down the fairway.
Yeah, I feel like the backhand's the super safe route. The only thing I don't like about that is the second shot. There's just so many trees to contend with, so I prefer the forehand. Obviously I do, but I think people prefer the forehand turnover just because you can challenge those initial trees to get past them and make the approach so much easier. And even if you do hit them, it's not going to kick too far left or right when it's coming at the that was perfect. But
yeah.
What I was getting at was coming down to the initial ending of the flight. Not too much speed on the disc, but Tim I don't think I've ever seen a disc get that clean through that gap before.
Yep, definitely was a little more inside than I thought he wanted to be, but apparently that's the place you want to be. Mitchell off to the left with a kick, and Willie off to the right.
That's the thing, is you can't leave. If you're doing forehand, you do not want to throw it too high, even though it seems like, there's no worries. Just make sure it goes left. But if you get that nose up, you can definitely spell out some trouble.
Todd still can't quite get a break here. Just a little off on a lot of things, which keep kind of adding up to an overall score, which is what he's not wanting here. Gets a kick there. It should be an up and down from that spot 4-4, though. He's close enough there where he can even make maybe a run, but
for sure.
He's definitely going to probably walk away with a par or better from that spot.
I've never been here before, so I have no idea what he's looking at. Maybe he doesn't either, but he's going with wow, that was an incredible shot.
Yep. Willie hated it.
Did he?
Yeah, he came out of the woods like, that was the dumbest spot I've ever
hated a lot, yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah,
but
he did not like that spot.
He'll have a longer look.
Yeah, he was stoked about where that ended up.
Tim is only about 130 feet away from the pin here.
Yeah,
so easy birdie.
Yeah, insane first drive there, but gets rewarded.
Yeah, because the hole says 413, which, I mean, it might be, but the way the disc travels, it's probably much closer to 500, I would say.
Absolutely. Mitchell turned this one over a little too much. He's going to be in the woods. He's going to try to probably pitch out, and no. Not what he wants there. He's going to stay in the woods. He's going to have to... This is for his par now.
Circle's edge, slightly uphill. Probably a low ceiling.
Oh, and he thinks, don't you dare. Rude, stop it.
Yeah, and that's the trouble of this hole, being on that slope right there. It tends to happen quite a bit. He's going to have to maintain his composure,
for
refocus, and drain this putt.
About the same distance, different gap now. A little on the left side. Not what he was looking to do there. Starting off on 10. Here's Todd now. Pretty good spot, actually. I think he's got a clean sight to the basket. Get down. Oof.
It looked good. Just didn't have quite enough speed to maintain its flight to the basket as we move on to Willie here with a 40-foot uphill putt.
My favorite.
Not my favorite.
Really?
No.
I mean, you throw it 85 feet in the air already.
I know, but it loses so much speed.
Okay.
Gives it a healthy bid just over the top.
Okay, note to self. Andrew Marweed loves downhill putts.
Oh, I didn't say I like downhill putts either. I like flat putts, 30 feet, no wind. I'm very picky.
On tour, you guys get a lot of those, though, right? A lot of flat greens. You get hilly greens on tour compared to
Michigan. Here. I would say flat greens.
Yeah,
there's a lot more hilly sloped greens in Michigan, but the wind on tour is the biggest factor
for sure.
We're here in the woods, and if I remember correctly, I don't think there was much wind at all, especially here at Sanford.
Yeah, a lot more shielded woods here than there was at our Freeland course, but
yeah, they call it the jungle for a reason. There's so many trees here, so good blockage, but
Hole 11 now, 324 feet. Another one that plays more than this because of it's a true dog leg. You just try to get something around the corner. I don't think attacking the basket is realistic.
No, it's not the play. And that's the thing is, like, you can't call it a par 4 because it'd be way too easy, and it's not a par 3. I mean, it's not the best of holes, but it can get you into some trouble. You know, if you're smart and play it smooth, you know, it should be an easy 3, as Tim kind of goes a little bit. I mean, I can't say that's aggressive, but he puts hyzer on it to get around the corner, so that'll leave him a jump putt approach to the basket. But the common play is just a straight putter, throw it straight 175 feet, and then throw an upshot 300 or 175 feet. So
yeah, and the hole's even more confusing, I think, just because on top of it being a strange corner, the green is unattackable. Because even in these spots, which are within Tim and Willie's range, they can't go for it because there's a drop off behind
that's
the basket.
true. So even if you're at best case scenario, you get to 70 feet. It's right. You have to lay it up.
I think last year there was a 2 on this hole, but it was by someone who.
It was RJ. He threw it in.
Yeah, so from his words, threw it in. Yeah.
He wasn't trying to, though. He said he was trying to lay it up. But,
yeah, it's like an accidental.
Yeah, go and skip shot here. I mean, this would, I guess, would be the play if you were wanting to attack it, but that was a slower speed. So I'm kind of surprised they all try to cut the corner. Most people I play with just throw it straight and then straight again.
Really?
Yeah.
I try to cut the corner too.
It just like kind of takes the risk out of, because if you go too deep,
Sure.
then you can get in trouble. If you just throw it straight,
that's
then
fair.
it's kind of a no-brainer up and down.
But I throw a Blizzard Pig, which has never gone straight in its life.
It should not go straight. Correct.
You're gonna bag one, right?
I am not going to bag one. I got my pigs.
And they're pretty locked in too, so I'll take that. Got Todd here from a knee. A little too deep here, so this is what you're talking about.
Yeah, this is kind of not too bad, but, you know, another 4 feet, and then, you know, what are you going to do? You have a 2-foot gap, I guess you get hit, but it's just not quite worth the risk in my eyes to even try to have a putt at this. But if you were where Willie's at and have a 90-foot approach shot, I guess I'm also not complaining.
This would be a little more interesting of a hole, I think, if it was the last hole of the tournament. Because, like, if there's a person with stroke down and need to get one, it'd be a little more exciting to see someone forced to run it.
Yeah, the leader's never going to run it. So.
But, yeah, this is, like, literally the dead center of the tournament. You all know where you're at, and it's just like, well, let's not lose any strokes.
Yeah.
In fact, there were 0 birdies today on this hole, which is 0 surprise.
Yeah.
Another hole. There's 2 of them. Hole 2 has 0 birdies on it because that's a par 3, even though it's a 3.5.
Same thing, 3.5 on this
And this
hole.
one's kind of in the same boat, and so very difficult.
But the card does do a good job of all, at least getting their pars. Moving on to hole 12, though, they will not be looking for pars. 272 feet, slight drift to the right after this bend around this tree. And last year it used to be an island hole. I do not think there's OB. If there is, it's way past it and not really into play. So
It's no island this year.
should be a pretty stock hyzer forehand shot for most of these players.
Think this is a drone? Or you think
Probably a
it's faster?
zone.
Okay.
No, well, yeah, that's zone.
That looks
for
like a
sure.
drone.
Yeah, it's 272, but it's so downhill it plays 240.
Way shorter.
So,
And this is actually a little wide. You're right. That is a zone, but
But the only tree really that's in, you know, your vision of a bad shot is that main tree right there. So going way outside around it and having it drift back, or if you cut it inside is the play as well. But this is not it.
that is actually going to stay right on the edge. It's not going to go anywhere. So he's going to still be able to maybe take a look at it. Todd here.
Looks like a felon, I would guess, but went pretty straight, so maybe not.
I don't remember his bag. I kept asking about it because it's all blue, which is...
I don't think that was a felon.
First of all, if you ever get filmed and don't tell the film crew what your discs are and they're all one color, you're a terrible person. But Todd told us what they all were. I just can't remember. I just can't remember them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then I look at them, I'm like, oh, that's his sing. Oh no, that's not. That's not what that is. It's too slow. It's just too long ago for me to remember now.
Willie trying to make the hero putt on a knee from 70.
No. He's got some different putters out. He has usually these dark blue putters, purplish putters, but got these light ones out. Mitchell in not a great spot, unfortunately. A couple holes now Mitchell has thrown where he's gone deep at the basket, and then he just isn't sure where he's at, so he'll see me walking towards his disc, and he's like, "Stop walking,
Please stop walking.
please stop walking." And I gotta go where I'm gonna film. Obviously, I don't want to stand in front of him. So we had a couple laughs there, and he thought he was closer on this hole, but unfortunately, he missed a lot of material from the woods.
Looks like Tim and
Todd,
are gonna get the birdie here.
Willie and Mitchell with the threes and the pars, which is for hole 12, which averages negative .59. The easiest hole on the course is not what you want. There's that stare down.
That was a mini stare down.
A mini one. He's holding that arm. It really started to bother him in this back nine as we head into hole 13. Probably one of my favorite holes, honestly. Just a little tricky one, fun one. I'm an amateur. Leave me alone. 260 feet. The drone's going to take this inside gap. I like to play the outside gap, the right one, and just throw something really stable. I throw a Blizzard Pig, something really I know won't go too far deep, because that's the danger in my mind, is going too far deep rather than going short. But
yeah, I think most people are going to go the outside route, which I imagine Tim will show it us perfectly, because that's what Tim does, is throw perfect shots.
Dang it, Tim.
A little short, but that's inside circle, so.
Yeah, probably another tap-in birdie for him. You really just got to get past this first layer.
Ooh, a little too wide. Yeah.
He's going to be in the fairway, though. You see you looking up. Got Willie now. He's probably throwing a zone of some kind.
This looks pretty good.
Yeah, this looks pretty much perfect.
Parked.
Oh, we're right next to Tim. He just wants to hang out with his good buddy. It's more FaceTime with Tim. And who wouldn't? Look how hot he's playing.
Yeah, you take a look at the scores here, and it may not be over the entire field, but at least over lead card, he's got a 7-stroke lead. So unless anybody from second and third card are catching up, we might see a change in the lead card for next round. But plenty of birdies left. There's always a chance for these three guys to catch fire in these last few holes and make a good push.
Yeah. And honestly, right now, Tim's just setting a pace, right?
Like he's playing straight fire. Yeah, he's not, I don't know if he has any bogeys,
down.
but he's playing very consistent.
I think he has 0 bogeys so far.
For the tournament?
I think so.
Yeah.
I can look that up, actually. Look at me having the power to look that up. Round 1, he had... Oh, that's not true. He had bogeys in round 1. Okay, so this is no bogeys this round. Look how smart I look.
You look very smart.
Yeah, okay. You can lie to everyone at home all you want.
As Tim picks up another birdie, starting 3 down through 4 on the back 9.
Yep, that's what you want to do. And the one he missed is the one that nobody birdied.
Right.
So he essentially took the
birdie
there.
He's played the back 9 perfect so far. You're not going to birdie that hole, so.
Unless you're RJ accidentally.
Unless you're RJ.
Hole 14, 258 feet. Probably a hole you're good at?
Yeah, this is a very, I would say, let me guess, third easiest on the course. It's you could throw backhand, but those stumps off early on make it kind of tough. But righty forehand hyzer. It's almost like a sawed-off hyzer. It's only 258 feet, kind of tucked into the right. But as long as you don't hit this little cluster of broken trees, honestly, as long as the disc goes right, you should have a putt.
It is the 8th easiest hole.
No way, really?
Yeah, averaging negative .24. I'm not even lying to you this time. That's just actually what it is.
Come up a little bit short, but should be a putt. I'm surprised that it's I would imagine not a whole lot of bogeys unless people are hitting that first tree and only being 258 feet. Maybe it's a little trickier than I thought, but really going super high. As long as it stays clean, it should be good, but not the way he was trying to draw it up, I'd imagine. But
literally right next to Tim.
It should be right on top.
Someone owes somebody a beer. Probably laying on top of each other. I think the problem with this hole is potentially that it kind of requires you to have a good, consistent forehand.
Yeah, I guess if you don't have a forehand, it'd be pretty tough.
And so, for people like me who don't have that, and I'm a backhand player dominantly, because I did try forehand. It did not work.
Yeah, because with the backhand turnover, you can see the angle. It would be pretty tough to do because you have to go inside of that tree cluster and have it go so far to the right that I can see it being pretty tough.
So I think this is just a reflection of those guys who just like me who struggle to go forehand or have that power to go forehand. But these guys definitely had the power, and 3 of them parked, and now Todd up by the basket should be 3 birdies, 1 par. And I did not know what was going on. I was not paying particularly close attention. I think they spent a good 2 minutes looking
Their disc.
for I think it was Willie's disc. Like they were just like walking around and like after he laid up, and I was just like talking to someone off to the side of me because I thought they were like figuring out who was going first, and I'm like, oh no, he's right there, guys.
Must have been hiding in some brush, but
Yeah.
they both make their 25-footers. Todd's going to try to clean up his 15-footer for par, and pretty
Easy peasy.
solid hole for these lead card.
Yeah, averaging, like I said, negative .24. So definitely playing better than the average here still. It's crazy to think the average says 1 birdie, 3 pars.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It'd be a little easier
I think
than
you're
that.
right. Yeah, I would have thought that as well. But hole 15 now, 280 feet. Tell me what you're doing here.
So, being on 280 feet, there's a couple different options. I think the preferred play and the most open is a forehand flex. It's a little trickier, but it is the most airspace. A lot of players might be throwing a putter or mid-range backhand out wide and either going just in front of that thick tree on the right or getting slightly lucky and going just behind it. Tim is going to show me this route perfectly. Just behind it, like I said, you kind of get through there more often than not. I feel like.
I don't think anything there is particularly difficult for the disc to get through, so it's pretty consistent in doing that. I almost aced this.
Did you really?
I did, but then the disc remembered it was me and that I'm not allowed to ace. So
Right, so
it
of
just,
course it
just
doesn't.
just laid up short instead.
But yeah, if you're throwing backhand, you pretty much just aim at that tree, hope to miss it, and you'll be in the circle.
Yeah.
Here's a forehand flex play I was talking about. Probably something that's overstable, but a little bit beat in to get that natural turn, and this is
He said hit him
cooked.
down. I think he threw that 400 feet.
Yeah, it was a good tree. It's gonna be edge of circle, so
But that's a solid play though, like to play for that knockdown, right? If he knows that he can hit those pine trees consistently, is that a fine play, or do you think that's better just to lay up shorter?
I can't say that's a fine play, but it worked out. So
Sure, okay.
he hit the line, just didn't quite hit the height and distance.
Yeah. I didn't know if you thought that'd be a consistent play or not. Probably not.
Probably not. If it was lower, then I could say yes, because
Sure.
at least you're hitting the base. If not, you're hitting the ground. And it's not gonna go too far. But if it's that high in the air, then I don't really think it's
Because you're putting too much into play at that point.
for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Willie with the little. That was a weird play. Kind of like jabbed it. I think those
He had
little
so many
trees
jokes.
in his way.
He had so many jokes there. Because Todd putted, and he putted over the bush, and then Willie lined up right behind him and just proceeded to continue saying, I am short. I can't putt over this. And then he talked himself into missing the putt, and then immediately after he missed it, Tim's like, you shouldn't have said that.
That's one of the biggest lessons for any kind of player that's struggling with their putt. If you tell yourself you're gonna miss before you putt, you will miss. If you tell yourself you will make the putt, so many more times than not, you are gonna make that putt just because of how important that confidence is in putting. So there's your pro tip of the day. So
Thanks, I didn't even have to pay you for that.
no, you did not. I'll take commission though for every birdie putt you make though. Hole
Well,
16.
Well, you're not getting paid jack to the squad.
Hole 16, par 4, 431. It's actually hole 18 on the course, so it plays a nice finishing hole, but it is a pretty tricky par 4. Not the longest, but unless you're absurdly greedy and want to like push through that gap, a lot of these players are going to be laying up right to the mouth, which Tim is going with a pushing hyzer. I think he's trying to attack the gap here, actually. Yeah, he was just going a little bit too long. He might be able to do a patent pending standout to try to get something through that gap, but
I think Mitchell's trying to take the Jared Stoll line.
no way.
Yeah. He got it way up there and caught some of those last couple of branches.
I think it's one of those things too where it's like you play 15 holes of not being able to throw a driver and you just want to rip it, but very aggressive shot, which I think it kind of worked out though. It pushed through back to the center-ish.
Yeah, he's over right next to Tim there, and Todd.
That was perfect.
Yeah, ideal.
That's what you want to do.
Good balance of aggressive and safe, and he's in a great spot. And this looks like too much hyzer.
Yeah, that was aggressive too. I'm surprised that no one. That was a
Oh my
great
lord.
kick. But I'm surprised no one actually did the layup shot that I was intending a lot of these players to do. Most of these players were trying to push through that gap, and the reason being is those two trees right in the fairway right there. The closer you are to those is going to help you hitting that gap so much better. If you're short, layup like I suggested is actually a very tricky up shot. So
Yeah, we see there Mitchell kind of running into that problem. I mean, even last year when we filmed this hole, the guys that were a little farther back struggled to get through that gap.
It's not easy. You can guarantee, you're not going to be scrambling, but hitting that gap becomes much more difficult. But these players are playing this hole rather well. A little bit of luck involved, but
Yeah, as we look at Willie's almost perfect position.
But that happens, especially at a course like this. There are trees.
Yeah,
He's had his
absolutely.
bad break, so getting a good break almost makes up for a couple of spit outs there. But beautiful flex play. He'll be up and down for a birdie.
Mitchell nearly able to save the birdie there. Good line, but just a touch short. Tim now. Pretty routine putt for him, and he's been pretty locked in.
Yeah, I don't expect him to miss that. That is 5 in a row for Tim, so
I mean, it's been literally a perfect back nine so far. You got 2 more, so you can get a perfect back nine.
yeah, the last 2 are very difficult. So if he pulls that off, I will be thoroughly impressed. I'm already impressed, but so a couple birdies, couple pars. It looks like. No, 3 birdies. Willie's gonna tap this one in. So they played this hole very well.
Yeah, the hole itself is playing at negative 0.25, which is shockingly good.
That is very shocking.
I would have thought that this is actually playing easier than the hole that we thought would be easier, the hole 14.
That is actually very surprising. I mean, you can get in so much trouble on that hole, so
In relation to par, at least. So
yeah.
hole 17 now. A bit of a dog leg left there. Difficult part of this hole is really to get your disc that far left at the end of its flight. There's a couple ways you can try to do that. I think a common play is for people to try to throw something low and try to get a skip at the end there.
Exactly. You get kind of where that drone flew over. There was a nice little patch of dirt, like hard dirt, where it's the ideal spot to try to land your disc to skip.
Oh, geez, Tim's not even trying to deal with that. He's just trying to throw it there. And
You can see how inside that was. I mean, that was really close to working, but that's how far left you need the disc to push.
yeah. Because if you go right at all, it just has no chance without extra assistance. And Todd there had the right idea. Push it a little deep. Is that a Pioneer? Is that what that's at?
I think it's an Explorer, but I wasn't
Okay.
really paying attention.
I think it was an Explorer. I think you're right.
But it's one of those holes where it's too wide because you can't really throw it hard and let the disc finish. It needs to be a sweeping hyzer because that back edge of the trees comes into place so quickly. You need the disc moving left as soon as possible.
Unless you have a Blizzard Big,
Unless you have a Blizzard Pick.
which I own.
That was
many
perfect.
of. Oh yeah, Mitchell figured it out.
Playing the skip shot to perfection.
Oh boy, Todd trying to make some magic happen from deep. Whew.
Soft bid.
Just keep it close. Just try to. He's had a much better back nine. Scored on a few. He just wants to make sure no more big mistakes. Tim here from a very difficult
Oh my
position.
goodness.
Boy. And he
so
wanted
close.
it.
Oh yeah.
He's mad at himself that he didn't keep this perfect back nine.
He is human though, so
Is he though?
not really.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm pretty sure he's a robot.
Yeah, Mitchell here trying to clean up his 25-footer.
And great birdie from him for a hole that averages .03 over par.
Yeah, there's not too much trouble you can get into unless you really hit early, so it should be kind of a routine par, but you walk away with a birdie, and it's a great score in this hole. You don't see him too often.
But no one really losing anything other than Mitchell gaining that extra stroke there. Not too many birdies on there for the day. Playing as the 6th hardest hole of the day as we head into hole 18, which is the 4th hardest hole of the day.
Yeah, this hole is crazy. You see off to the right here, there's a super inside local route. You could throw a forehand if you're going for the more direct route to the basket, but the common play is right where this drone is flying. Forehand, I would say to the left of this double tree right here. Inside is going to get you a putt, but not anywhere close to the basket. Even if you hit the gap, though, this is one of the holes I don't necessarily like because there are just a few too many trees in the middle of the area that this is trying to fly through. So,
And we had some magic here last year from you. This is where our big putt came from.
yeah, last hole of the round.
Right around
cashed a
there, actually.
120
Right around
footer. So that's kind of like a common spot, though. You see, is like not a great shot, but an okay shot, hits something, and then lands halfway down the fairway.
I think the rude part about this hole in particular is that that dead tree right off to the right side, where that's the extended branches on it, that catches a lot more than people think.
It does. Yeah, you can kind of see it like spiking out.
Yep.
It looks like it's high up there, but Those branches come down pretty low, so
Yeah.
getting the disc to go under that, but also go, 300 plus feet, which those are great shots, and those are 60 feet short.
I mean, those are what you're looking to do.
That's perfect, yeah.
So Willie's going higher, and he's attacking it on purpose.
He's flirting with all the branches, but fortunately it gets through everything. That was a fantastic shot at Circle's Edge.
I don't think he could redo that.
No,
From given 50 throws.
It's a hard hole to practice, because if you hit it good, if you hit the line the first time, you're probably not hitting it good the second time.
Right. Mitchell with a layup that was a little shorter than what he wanted. He's going to have a bit of a tester there for his last putt. Tim from maybe 70, 60 probably.
Oh my goodness. He's pumped,
Yeah,
too.
he is. He is putting together a fantastic round. Missed really only one hole that he almost made on the last hole for this back nine, and he's going to earn himself that crew view here.
I mean, you got to think, too, 7 down on the back nine. 7 down's a good score for the whole tournament, or for the whole round.
Day,
Like,
yeah.
that's a good score, and he just did it on the back nine alone, so...
That's insane.
Timmy B popping off here round 2 at Sanford, and he is very happy.
He's relieved. Because that's the last putt of the round. He's put together a good, fantastic second round. You're setting a hot pace. If anyone was on his tails, he made it very hard to stay there. Mitchell with just a short putt there. Kind of hard to match Tim after that. Willie here.
I think that was Todd, wasn't it?
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. That was Todd's.
Okay, yeah, because Mitchell's got this little
Yeah.
cleanup putt.
Mitchell's in the pink.
And honestly, pretty good round from
Yeah.
Mitchell. His putt, circle one putt, super smooth.
Way better back nine for the card in general.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely OB danger with this card. Did a great job of avoiding that with only one bogey stroke, or
A double bogey.
yeah,
on
one bogey, I guess. But
on the one slip up. But Mitchell's actually going to keep his spot on the lead card. And looky who's back on lead card for round 3.
yeah, boy,
That'd be you.
but that 12 down
Is put him
fire emoji.
comfortably. I'm
Yeah.
going to have to add that in now. I hope you know that.
Oh, for sure.
Now I have to add in a fire emoji. Thanks. I have to go back and re-edit this. But
That is a hot round, though.
spicy.
Gonna see Tim back on round 3. Final round coverage. A-tier Michigan Pro State Championships.
See ya.